Beyond the Rings, Paris 24 Outreach, 30 short stories in 30 days. My name is Jeff Wells. I have the great privilege of being the founder of Beyond the Rings Olympic Ministry. Olympic penetrating evangelism is what we do, and we have the great privilege of representing Christ and our churches and our families and friends in Paris during the Paris 2024 Summer Olympic Games. These are just a few stories and about all the cool things that God did in us and through us over those 17 days of the Summer Games in Paris. Today, I want to talk to you about the ground team. I kind of early on divided Beyond the Rings into essentially two major teams. That's about the extent of my athletic understanding and experience, but it's true. There are two major teams. One is the support team. The support team are the people who pray, who give, who share about Beyond the Rings. They pray for Beyond the Rings. Many, many, many people were praying before we ever went, as we were making pins, as we were raising funds, as we were finding housing and dealing with logistics and all of that. Lots of people praying for Beyond the Rings and myself and the team. And then the prayer warriors that were joining us on a regular basis for those 17 days when we were on the ground in Paris. Indispensable and of immense value, our prayer partners and our ground team. Many in the ground team prayed and also gave. Many, many generous financial supporters, from teenagers giving $20. I knew one teenager who gave a significant amount of money on a regular basis for many, many months. So we had a variety of those who were praying and giving. And then on top of that, sharing. Support team members would share about Beyond the Rings. They would repost my daily updates from Paris. They would post about the pin design update. They would post prayer requests. And that continues to happen to this day, as many are sharing on their social media and through their resources, avenues, friends, family, and others, coworkers, classmates, about this podcast and about our upcoming celebration coming up on September 29th. So that's the support team. So grateful for so many that are part of that. The ground team is a much smaller team, and they're just that. They're the ones on the ground during the Olympics, going out day in and day out for however long they're there. Tony was there for 10 days. Brandon, Destiny, and I were there for all 17 days of the Olympic Games. So I want to talk about the ground team, who were instrumental to the effectiveness of the Paris 2024 outreach this summer. So you see on this slide, if you're watching this on YouTube, if not, those who are listening, I'll describe it to you. It's essentially a picture of the four of us with a little picture placard that the volunteer was having people hold and get pictures of. And it's just a little picture in front of the Hotel de Ville, which is where one of the Paris 24 fan zones were located. And you see across the bottom the Paris 24 logo, Paris logo in the middle, and then the Paris 2024 Paralympic logo. And in the frame is Destiny, Tony. I'm poking in the back there. You may not even see my little face back there, but I'm back there, and Brandon. And so what I wanted to do was take time in the next few episodes and talk about each of the team members and what an integral and special part of the team they were. And here's why it's a short story, because we're going to start with Destiny Killian, and I have two pictures up here. The one is her sharing with a gentleman inside that fan zone where we were just getting our picture taken outside of there. And you can see her holding up the Beyond the Rings gospel pin, pointing to it and looking at it as she is explaining, sharing the gospel with this guy. And then the other picture is just a great, cultural moment, getting a picture of her with the Eiffel Tower in the background. That picture was taken where the Parc des Champions gathering happened every night. There were about 13,000, 14,000 people gather in this little stadium in view of the Eiffel Tower, and they would present some of the athletes, and there'd be fun music and dancing and things going on. It was really neat celebration location every night during the game. And but I wanted to talk about each of the team members because they brought so much to the effectiveness of the ground team while we were there. And so Destiny turned 20. Our final day there, August 11th. She turned 20. And so Brandon is her boyfriend, and surprised her with going up to the top of the Eiffel Tower. And I hung out with him as the photographer. And Tony had unfortunately had to go back about a week before, so he didn't get to join us for that. But Destiny is a young adult, loves the Lord, is a student at Missouri Baptist University where she's studying worship. She wants to help lead the church in helping people worship the Lord. She's got a great singing voice. She's a very talented person. I think she plays the piano and other instruments. I remember her talking about that once, but I don't remember all the details. But Destiny also had the unique privilege of being the only female on our team. And so she was a brave female warrior and represented her gender well. And she just did a great job. It was a joy to have around. She was very kind, very outgoing. She was nervous at first, and she would be very friendly when once she got going, and eventually became very comfortable with that. And so she didn't start out outgoing, but she ended up being very outgoing and very approachable. I can think of one time we were walking through um, the hallways, subway, going from one platform to another, and a woman was walking by us and just blew me off. Just didn't even look at me, and I got the hat on with all the pens, and she looks at Destiny. She, hey, you want a pen? And so they traded pens, and then Destiny went right into then I got another pen I'll give you, and sharing the gospel with her using that pen. She didn't miss a beat. She was right on top of it. Again, made the most in a very natural way of that encounter and enjoying the opportunity. She was another American, and to have this gospel conversation um, without any prodding, without any help. Um, she jammed at it. Great. And so I'm grateful that Destiny Killian got to be a part of Beyond the Rings ground team during the Paris 2024 Summer Olympic Games. And my hope and prayer, and I believe she's praying for this as well, that she'll be part of future ground teams as well, whether it be winter games or summer games. And so continue to pray for Destiny. She's a sophomore now at Missouri Baptist University, got a full slate of classes. You've seen some of the other episodes. We were able, myself, Brandon, and Destiny, record some short stories together, and got to her great personality and hear some of her stories. And so I'll just invite you, if you want to hear more of her stories and our stories, come out to the Paris 24 Outreach Celebration coming up on Sunday, September 29th, 3 p.m. at Concord Church. You can find out more information at beyondtherings.net. But we're going to be serving desserts and drinks, and we'll be sharing stories, pictures, and video from our penetrating evangelism outreach during the Paris Olympic Games. We'll have displays of our pens that we collected when we were in Paris, and more importantly, hear stories and be able to know how to pray for the many encounters that we had while we were there. And we will also use that celebration to launch the Italy 2026 Winter Olympic Outreach, and we will be taking love offering for that. And so we invite you to join us. If you're not able to be with us in person, we're working on making live stream a possibility. So we'll keep you posted about that. And we will hope that if you can't be with us in St. Louis, that wherever you are, literally around the world, that you would tune in and join us through blessing of technology. So thanks again for tuning in for another episode of Beyond the Rings Paris 24, 30 and 30. And we look forward to talking with you. Bless.